The focus of Paul is not for you to just believe that Jesus died. The focus of Paul is not for you to just believe that he was buried. The focus of Paul is not for you to believe that he rose from the dead. That's a history class. The focus of Paul is for you to understand the implication of the death, the burial, and the resurrection. When you see that implication, you have seen Christ. Because that implication is the revelation of Christ. And when you look at this story, the first thing you are going to extract from here is the love of the Father. Because Jesus is the representation of the love of the Father. That's what this story captures. So you read Romans 8:32. Paul said that if he did not withhold his only begotten son, but gave him freely for us, how shall he not with him give us all things? John was speaking in John 3:16. He said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish. So death, burial, and resurrection is not to equip you with a history lesson. It's to unveil to you the love of God. That God in his majesty was willing to surrender his glory and to step into the earth and to die like a criminal. And he didn't do that for himself. That he did that for you. The moment it becomes reasonable to you, the love of God will be awoken in your heart. That love of God becomes the tangible dimension of Jesus that you have. That love becomes the revelation of Jesus that you have. This is why 1 John 4:8 says, God is love. Because the summary of this message is love. I am God. If man falls, I can create another one. I am God. If man sins, he can be destroyed. I can continue with my agenda. But for me to stop my program, for me not to create another entity, but to go to save man. And saving man is not just me sitting on my throne and say, be saved. Saving man means somebody will die in his place. And I check the whole universe. Nobody qualifies to die. If anybody will die, it has to be another man. And God looks at the angel. All of them were bowing down. Holy, holy, holy. The whole heaven were worshiping. Holy, holy, holy. And God abandons that worship. And God leaves his throne. And God steps down from his throne. And God enters the womb of a woman. And God is there, hungry like a man. When the woman eats, God eats. When the woman does not eat, God does not eat. When the woman is sick, God is sick. When the woman is tired, God is tired. And God remained there for 9 months. When God was about to be born, they threatened to kill God. They had to run with God to Egypt for God not to be killed. And God was in Egypt. And God suffered in Egypt and waited for the king to die. After the king died, they brought God back. And God was suffering like every man. And God was growing like every man. Do you know what it looks like when Jesus looked at heaven? And he still sees all the angels bowing. Meanwhile, when they were bowing, that's when the Pharisees were dragging him. Who do you say you are again? We will kill you today. And Jesus stands in between. I'm the one they are worshiping in heaven. Yet I'm the one they are dragging. They are disgracing. Do you know when Jesus was on the cross and he looked into heaven, angels were still bowing down. Angels were still worshiping. The same one that they are worshiping in heaven was hanging naked on earth. And they are mocking him. And he has the power to jump down and say, I don't tire. Enough is enough. But he remained there. Not because the cross held him, he held the cross.